Say first time. That was exciting, just like the first time of everything. Okay.
You're not a virgin anymore.
Today in the wood yard, I'm back at Tony's place. We're gonna play with some more toys. Here we go. So here I am back at Tony's place, Tony again. And we're gonna talk about a new tool that he has here, something that I've never seen before. I knew they existed, but I just never saw one. And this is a tool that he got for when he's by himself and he needs to move a tree in a direction that he wants it to go instead of where it wants to go, and if you can't use like a tractor or something to pull it, correct?
Exactly.
So here it is. It is a Norwood timber tool. What is it?
It's referred to as a tree jack or a tree pusher, one or the other. Norwood is one of the companies in North America that sells these. But there is a Swedish company called Reipal, R-E-I-P-A-L, and they have the pusher 1 through 6. The benefit of this is giving you a mechanical advantage so that you can push the tree where you want it, especially if you have a heavy leaner and you don't want to use ropes. And it also will help you in not pinching your bar, or if you pinch your bar, it will loosen it up. It has at the bottom these spikes that dig into the ground, and you can use a 2x4 or you can just leave it in the ground. You have the top portion that loosens up and you raise it up. Now you put this at a 45-degree angle, and I won't dig it into the live tree, but you just crank this up, and it digs right into the tree.
It's like a giant come along, but not
like a tractor.
Pulling it, right. You can push it from where you are.
It's pushing from where you are. This one will do 1,500 kilos or 3,300 pounds. So really 1.5 tons of pressure it's putting on the tree.
Which is more than you need to move a tree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Most trees are not that, they don't take that much pressure.
Exactly.
It's cool. So what you would do is you would cut a notch.
You could, most of the time, this is so sharp it digs into the tree.
Oh, really?
Yes. However, as you pointed out, some of the dead oaks with the thick bark falls off. Then you'd want to put a little bit of a notch in here, and this will go into the notch.
Got it.
That way it makes it sure.
So then, do you cut down below?
Yes, what you do is you put your face, you go ahead and you put your face cut on
over here,
wherever you want the tree
to go, right? And then your back cut over here.
And your back cut. Now, you can do a traditional back cut where it's even with your face cut, or what most people do is come in at an angle and come within 1 inch of your face cut. So you're making a diagonal or an angled cut to that.
So you don't get kickback?
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Then you push, you just come on the crank and you crank it up, and this thing just pulls.
Pushes them right over.
It's amazing the size trees that you can push over with.
Awesome. So you know what that means? We got to push some trees over.
Absolutely.
Let's get to it. So now I'm in Tony's woods here. We picked out a tree that we're going to cut down. This is a dead jack pine. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go to this side over here with the jack, and we're going to cut our notch right up here. Put our jack into this spot right here, and then we're going to run the jack bottom down over here, and we're going to push the tree that direction down through that hole there. And the tree's lean is actually out over here, which is not a big deal to move it that much, but this is more for demonstration purposes because the tree has a lean. It kind of goes that direction, like over there, and we're going to move it over to here. That's the plan anyway. And as you know, plans always don't go exactly according to plan. So we're gonna do that. So again, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take some bark off right here, make a notch, and then we're gonna put the top of the jack into it, run it down to the ground there, and then I'm gonna cut down here. I'm gonna cut the front wedge, and then back cut down here and just push the tree over. And I'm going to cut on the back side here. Instead of going straight across, I'm actually going to cut at a 45 down to the wedge, because that gives you safety back here, so that as you're jacking the tree that direction, it has something besides the hinge holding it that it can't kick back. So that's what the plan is anyway. So that's how it's supposed to be done with using this tool. So we're going to try that. So now, just because Tony has this fun tool, I'm going to use it because I want to. So I'm going to take off some of these limbs here, just because I can. Look at that. I think, whoops.
You're having too much fun.
I think I got to take this home with me. This is nice. Let me see what I can do here. That's kind of cool. So now I'm going to take this little 28 incher here. 27 is it?
28.
28. And we want the tree to go right down through there. So I'm on the opposite side here. So this is the spot right here that we want to put our tool into. So you can see the tree's very dead. The bark just comes right off, which you want to do because, like Tony said, the tool itself will just scrape up underneath the bark here. So we want to actually make a little cut here. So I'm actually going to cut with the chainsaw right here, and I'll cut here and then cut from below and make a wedge notch right here for the actual, what's it called?
The tree jack.
The tree jack, that's it. So we can put the tree jack right up in here, and then we're going to run it down to the ground over this way. And then I'm going to cut my face cut over here, and then my back cut over here. We're going to push the tree over. So that's what's happening right now. All I did was I cleared this out because that's our retreat path is back this way. So that's why I cut all this out of here. I wasn't cutting just because I like the saw.
Yes, you do.
Like it. But I mainly was cutting this out so we don't die in case it comes the wrong way. So just got everything out of here. That did not go.
Okay, I asked Chris to put a small notch in. He loves to embellish.
That did not go right. I tried to cut just a little one, but I couldn't push the saw and I just kept pushing. Yeah, that's more notch than we need.
Oh, more notch than we need.
Oh well, it'll go down.
Oh yeah.
It'll go down. Yeah, I cut about half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have just made a little notch. Yeah, I got way carried away.
You got carried away.
I just like the saw too much.
That's what I thought, and so will your viewers, no matter what you say.
Okay, so now we're going to put the jack in. We're going to put some tension on it, and then I'll do the other cuts, right?
That is correct.
Okay, now that I cut the world's largest notch, we only need a little bitty one. Tony's going to hook up the jack. We're going to put it in here, and then we're going to put a little tension on it, and then I'll do my bottom cut. So show me how this toy works.
Okay, we remove the little pin. Raise the leg up, put the pin back in.
And are there multiple holes on this, or or is it just one spot?
Just the top one here, these two.
Okay, got it. Okay, so you got to be pretty accurate on
We
your...
just put this on now.
Yep.
Crank this up.
We'll come around here.
We're there. I already have tension on it.
I could hear it. I could hear the tree creak actually.
Yeah.
It doesn't
actually
take much.
if you take a look at it.
Oh, yeah, you can see the top moving.
Oh,
yeah.
it's moving.
It's a broke off tree, so it's not like we're taking down the world's toughest tree here, but yeah, so then I'm gonna come down here, make a notch here in the front where we want it to go that way.
Correct.
And then I'll do my back cut, and then Tony's gonna push it over. So here we go. So there, I could have kept cutting and it might have went that way enough, but we're gonna try to use the tool for what it's meant for. Crank on it, push it that way. So we're still going here. Okay, here we go. Might have to cut a little bit more. I left a lot of hinge.
Keep going. No, you got to cut a little more maybe.
It's wiggling.
You could force it over.
She's popping. Let me just see how much we got going here. Oh, it opened up a good inch. I do need to cut just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So we'll do a little more cutting. I don't want to cut so much that it just goes. That should be enough.
Yep.
Let's see what happens now. It's leaning that way, so, oh yeah. There we go. Look at that.
That's what you call directional felling.
Yeah, my wedge in the front was really bad.
Yeah. We won't hold that against you.
Well, I didn't want to hit that tree though. I wanted to hit that hole. But look at how far it dug into the ground here. Bring the camera up there once.
Yeah, you're always trying to hit that hole, Chris.
Look at how far in that's dug in. I can see where if you had a 2x4 on
That's
top
it.
of it would give it a lot more base so it wouldn't dig in and soft duff in the forest here. Yeah, it pushes it a lot. I can see where if you want to make a tree go somewhere, this would be a very handy tool to have, because even though you can cut it and wedge it, but to make sure it's going to go where you want.
That's the key.
And this is the first one I did. I can see now what I need to do. Smaller notch on the top.
Right.
And then cut my notch and my wedge in the front to cut it exactly right. I'm just a little bit off on it, which is why it went there. So, but,
And angle cut the back so that it doesn't come back at
right,
you.
Right. Yeah, I could have done that too, but I guess I wasn't worried about it.
It's your first one.
It's my first time. That was exciting, just like the first time of everything. Okay.
You're not a virgin anymore.
That was fun. Okay, so the tree is down. I actually wanted it to go right here, but it went right there. I was trying to avoid this tree, but it was leaning real heavy this direction over here. So we turned it that much, I was just off a little bit. And I think part of it was my wedge in the front was just a little bit too far that way. It wasn't enough this way, just a little bit off. But I'm always in the mindset when I've got a saw in my hand to just cut, which is a fault. So I should have slowed down and looked at it a little better. But the tree came down just pretty much where we wanted it to go, except for we hit a little bit tree
and
there.
it's safe.
Yeah, nobody died. So that was my first time, and it was kind of fun. So just a second ago, you said something about, what were we talking about?
The angle that you want it.
Yeah, the angle on the back. On the back cut, I should have angled it actually at a 45 down into it, so it can't kick back at you. Because when you're pushing on it, you've got enough pressure that it could pop back on you.
It could.
Yeah, because you're ripping the hinge out faster than you normally would.
Right, but as you can see, you don't need to use wedges on this, or if you pinch your bar, this is another way of relieving that pressure. That's
the thing I was thinking about when I was cutting. You know, if I was ever cutting on anything, even if it was a log down like this, and you get a pinch, you could put that jack in, you could just lift it up. If you only had one saw and you needed to open up a spot, because you got a pinched bar, you could use it for that. Because that tool, you could do a lot with it, just pushing heavy weight that you normally wouldn't be able to do.
Once again, I don't think I mentioned it, the tool weighs about 40 pounds.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
It's not the easiest thing, but it'll get you out of trouble, I will tell you that.
And we were talking earlier before we started that this is a tool that would be excellent for if you got a tree by a building or in between in a corner somewhere where it has to go, but you got to lean against the house. And if it's like say between two areas where you can't put a pulley or a rope or a chain to pull it, you know, if you're in a tight spot. And it's for the homeowner that doesn't have a boom and doesn't have big equipment.
Find somebody that they know that has this tool.
There you go. So where did you get it at? Online?
I ordered it online from Northern Tool.
Okay, and what did it cost? Just
I'm sorry, not Northern Tool, from can't even think of the name now. Norwood Timber. Same people that make the sawmill.
Oh, okay.
Same company. They have these, and they have they have tree winches and a lot of other products. It's about $500 roughly.
For that one?
For this one. The European models range anywhere from about $500 to about $1,500. Those will push 6,300 pounds.
Wow.
So that's at the high end.
Right.
It is a Swedish tool, as I mentioned, by Ripple, and the Swedish safety department endorses these. And when you watch a lot of the European European YouTubes, they use this tool a lot.
Sure, yeah. It's a way to guarantee what you're doing. And it takes out a lot of the chance of like say you were in a spot where you're in a tops like this, where you're hung up and it's a cluster and you got to plow down through it. You could wedge a tree. Even if the weight's going the wrong direction, you could push the tree to go through the trees, which would be nice when you're in spots where you're in thick woods and you got to get one tree out and there's no hole to drop it in. That would be nice.
Yeah, the tool isn't for everybody, nor is it for every situation, but it definitely has helped me out tremendously working alone.
So let's go look at the logo again here and see it. This is what it looks like when it was fully extended. And I let it just fall with the tree. I don't know if that's what I was supposed to do, but I figured no sense me standing there. Here's the number. It's 1-800-567-0404, Norwood Sawmills. And it is in, there's the address. You can see it. I'll just kind of go slow here so you can read it. There you go. Norwood Timber Tool. Very cool. I like it. As my good friend Lloyd Christmas would say, I like it a lot.
A lot?
That's it for today, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Between now and next time, get out in the woods, get cutting, have some fun, make some sweat and some sawdust, right? And as always,
good night, Irene, or dobranoc.
Dobranoc, what is that?
That's good night in Polish.
I gotta remember that.
That's it.
Oh man, I'm half Polish. I should know that.
There you go.
Oh man, where's my grandma when I need her? My grandma was Irene, you know.
Yes, you mentioned that.
Good night, Irene.